You got it. All right, muting you all now. And let's come to a comfortable seat. And I'm going to turn my little heater off because it keeps going on and off. So I may as well make that not a distraction. So as you take a comfortable seat, shift your sitting bones. And then rest your hands down and lift your shoulders up and back, lengthening your spine. Let your eyes close and begin to tune into a full breath in and out of your nose. Take a moment to give your breath a count. Your exhales tend to be naturally longer. So as you inhale, think of a count of 3 or 4. And as you exhale, a count of 4 or 5. And as you allow your breath to gradually increase in length, feel free to add to that number. And releasing this count, and simply take a natural breath. Noticing any shifts, changes that may have happened by bringing awareness to your breath. And now connect hands together at heart center and gently press your palms together. Lift your shoulders up and back and lengthen your spine once again. Take another full deep inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. And on your next exhale, bow toward your heart. As you softly open your eyes, release your hands down and gently draw your shoulders up and back again and begin to add a little ear to shoulder, checking in with your head and your neck, checking in with tops of shoulders, maybe starting to notice in between shoulder blades. And as your head comes to the right side, take a hold of it with your right hand if that feels okay, and roll your left shoulder down your back a couple times. Then inhale back up to center and exhale left ear to left shoulder. And again, move your right shoulder down your back a couple times. Inhale back up to center. And then walk your hands out in front of you as far as your body is ready to go. And begin to take a forward fold. Considering a little gentleness for yourself. So maybe prop yourself up on something here. But take a couple big breaths and tune into your hips or low back. Whatever else is showing up in your body. Big deep breath. Then inhale, gently bring yourself back up to center and switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. Move your sitting bones. And then bring fingertips to the floor just in front of you and walk them out to a comfortable distance. You're going to stay propped up here and move through a couple rounds of your cat and cow. Inhaling, extend your heart forward and exhale, round your spine back. Then inhale, extend your heart forward. Walk your right hand just in front of your right knee, and it can always be up on a prop here if you want. Left hand to your hip and take a little bit of a twist to the left side. And as you move your right shoulder blade onto your back, Lift your left arm up and over your ear if that feels good. Take a big deep breath, rooting down through both sitting bones. Exhale, both hands come down to the floor in front of you. Move through a full round of cat-cow. Then inhale, extend your heart forward and take your left fingertips just in front of your left knee. Right hand to your hip as you start to turn your belly and your heart open. Draw shoulder blades on your back, and then if you want to, you can reach right arm over your ear. Big deep breath. On your exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. And now we'll shift forward onto hands and knees. Take off some socks now. And as you come to hands and knees, we'll do a little bit of stretch through the hamstrings and the calf muscles. So pulsing back and forth between the sides. Inhale, reach back with your right leg, toes tucked under and push. Exhale, release your knee back to the ground. Inhale, left leg reaches back and push. Think of reaching through your calf. And exhale, knee back to the ground. Take 2 more on each side, working with your breath. And as you come back to a neutral place for your spine, root down with the 4 corners of your palms. And inhale, reach back with your right leg, lifting it up off the ground this time. Turn open with your hip. Take a big, full, deep inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. And now as you exhale, this time step your right foot forward in between your hands. Work your left knee back as far as it needs to go. Maybe you have blocks underneath your hands here. That's always an option. Take a big breath. Then stepping back onto hands and knees, reset yourself, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Move through a full round of cat and cow, inhaling belly toward the ground and exhaling round your spine upward. Inhale back to a neutral place for your spine. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Now inhale, reach back with your left leg, turn open with your hip. Reach through your heel. Take a deep breath. On your exhale, step right foot forward in between your hands. And again, blocks are always an option. Work your left foot forward in between your hands. I think I said that wrong. Work your back knee back as far as you need. Extend your heart forward. Take a deep, full breath. And now work back to hands and knees and pause for a moment on your hands and knees to set yourself back up. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Toes are tucked under behind you. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. And keep bend to your knees. Tilt your sitting bones up. Push through the 4 corners of your palms. Push through your fingertips. And then think of from your back. Push through your lats, out through your arms, into your hands. Sway your hips a little side to side, growing longer from hip to armpit. And then slow pedal, bending one knee and then the other knee. And as you pedal out through one leg at a time, let shoulders stay stationary and stable, but allow that movement to happen from your hips. And now walk your way forward, coming into forward fold at the front of your mat. Again, feel free to have blocks under your hands if you would like. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider than your hips for this first forward fold. Keep a considerable bend to your knees. Inhale, lengthen part way, heart forward, sitting bones lift. And exhale, fold over your legs. And from here, begin to tilt your sitting bones up. Inhale and lengthen part way again. And exhale, fold over your legs. And now walk your hands up your legs, rising all the way up to stand. And walk your feet into inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root down. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bend knees, fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant fingertips, step your right foot back into your lunge. Take a big deep breath here, centering with your hips, extending your heart forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, step your left foot back into your lunge. Find that centering action with your hips. Grow long through your spine. Deep breath. Inhale, step forward, lift your heart up part way. And exhale, fold. Bent knees, squeeze your glutes, reach your arms wide, and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. This time, take a hold of your right wrist and stretch over to the left. Take a big, deep breath, root down through both feet. Inhale, back up to center. Switch wrists and exhale over to the right side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release your wrists and fold. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant your fingertips, use blocks if you want to. Step right foot back into your lunge. Your back knee can be up or down, your choice, but bring your hands up to your hips and rise, centering with your hips. If you want to, you can always stretch your arms up or take gratitude. Come to what feels the best in your body. Take a deep breath. Send your left hip crease back in space and push with your back toes, lifting your upper thigh. Exhaling, hands come down to the front of your mat. Walk your back foot in just a little bit. Bring it in a couple inches or more if you need to be able to bring your whole foot to the ground, aiming your toes forward. Send your left hip crease back in space. Stack wrists underneath your shoulders, preferably up on blocks here. And as your front leg works towards straight, you're going to keep pushing sitting bones up. Keep pushing your left hip back. And now give your back knee a little bend, which is sometimes hard when it's in that deeper flexion with the ankle, but a little bend to your back knee and see if you can tilt your sitting bones up even more. Take a big deep inhale, long through your spine. Full long exhale. And now inhale, bend into your front knee and step forward. Exhale, left foot steps back into your lunge. Again, back knee on the ground if you want, or it can be lifted. Push into the floor and rise all the way up with your torso, centering with your hips, settling into your front knee, and then take what feels the best in your body for your arms. Reach if you want, maybe bring gratitude arms into the picture here. Take a deep breath. As you keep that centering action, think of allowing your back thigh to lift as you push your toes into the ground. On your exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. You're going to bump your back foot in and work your front leg towards straight. Again, to this hamstring stretch here. So wrap your right hip back with a little bend to your back knee, tilt your sitting bones up and extend your heart. Deep breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee and step forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hands to hips, Press your hips back, start to extend and lift through your heart and rise all the way up. And now we'll come to balance on our left foot. And if you want to, you can always use a wall behind you or your hand to hold on to the wall. But we're going to extend our leg in another hamstring stretch. So find your balance onto your left foot. Clasp hands, or maybe just your right hand underneath your hamstrings. And then push hamstrings into your hand and wrap your right hip down. You'll see your knee turn a little bit to the right side. And then begin to push your heel as far forward as your body is ready for. Take a big, deep breath. Your toes pull back towards your nose. Keep wrapping down with your right hip. Bend your standing knee, push into the floor, and stand taller. Take one more big breath. Then your heel draws back in and set your foot back down. Find your balance onto your right foot and lift left thigh up into your hands. Push your hamstrings into your hands and wrap your left hip down. And now begin to extend your foot. From that place, give your standing knee a little bend. Squeeze your right glute as you push into the floor and stand even taller. Take a big breath. Toes pull back towards your nose. Full deep inhale, press your hamstrings into your hands. Long, full exhale. Then heel draws back in and release your foot down. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale and lengthen partway. Exhale, fold. Plant hands and step all the way back, downward facing dog pose, and take a deep breath. Rotate elbow pits forward, and then from your lats out through your hands, push. Send your sitting bones further up. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Feel free to use your knees on the ground. Stay rotating with your elbow pits forward and push. Extend your chest. Keep your belly strong. On your exhale, lowering all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lift up and open through your shoulders first, rising up as high as your body is ready for in your cobra pose. Whatever that looks like for you, tune into a full deep breath, sending your breath all the way down to the lowest part of your belly. On your exhale, push all the way back into a child's pose and take some deep breaths. Inhale, rise to hands and knees. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. And take a full big breath as you find that rotation of your upper arm bones and push. Lift your sitting bones high. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale and lengthen partway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, reach and rise, coming all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands come to your heart. Close your eyes and take a moment for a full deep breath. Good, so we're going to take one more balancing pose before we come down onto our mats. And as you come to balance onto your left foot, do the same start to this pose of clasping your hands underneath your right thigh. Take a big deep breath. And again, you can always have a wall beside you or a wall behind you. That's always an option, but wrap your hip down. And from here, you can keep your right hand at your thigh if you want to, or if you want, you can reach your right hand to the inside of your right leg and reach for the outside of your foot. That's an option for you. Hug your knee in toward your body. And if you're holding on to your thigh, which is always an option, you're still going to do the same. Push your foot forward, coming into this balance of either holding onto your thigh or holding onto your foot. And falling over is always an option too. So from this place, wrap your right hip down, and if you want to, you can open your leg up to the right side. And again, that can be holding onto your thigh. Take a big, deep breath. Reach through your heel. Strong push from your glute on your standing leg down into the floor. Maybe lift your arm. Full big inhale. Long, deep exhale. Good. Bend your knee, draw your knee back into center, and then release your foot down. And give your legs a shake. Second side, again, start off the same way you did, holding on to your thigh. So pause here, flex your foot, and begin to press hamstrings into your hands. And now, either keep your left hand at your thigh or reach to the inside to take a hold of the outside of your foot. Hug your knee in if you're holding onto your foot. Yeah, good. From this place, stand tall and begin to press your leg forward, whether that's holding onto your thigh or your foot. Take a big deep breath. Wrap your right hip or your left hip down and then begin to open up. Yeah, and again, that can always be at your thigh. Reach your heel. Take a full deep inhale, long full exhale. If you want, you can stretch up or you can hold on to a wall. Yeah, good. Inhale, heel back in, draw your knee back into center, and then release your foot down. Good job. Feet inner hip distance apart and parallel. Hands at your heart. Close your eyes and tune in to whatever sensations are present. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. And exhale, fold. Plant hands and step back. Downward dog. Take a full deep breath. And then lower knees down, hips come back towards your heels. Take a child's pose and move around a little bit in your child's pose for a moment. And then allow yourself to come to stillness. And then gently push yourself up to your seat and come all the way down to sitting bones. And then all the way down onto your back, and make sure that you can reach all of your props. And as you come down onto your back, hug your knees in close and rock a few times. Giving your back body that little bit of a massage. And now set your left foot on the ground. Clasp your hands behind your right thigh and begin to lengthen your leg upward. Pressing hamstrings into your hands, not trying to pull your leg toward you, but instead giving that fascia release of the press of hamstrings. And then notice your right leg. Give your right hip a little push, your upper thigh a little push, so that your whole leg rotates a little bit in the hip socket. This helps to even out the hips a little bit. Then if you want to, you can lengthen your left leg out against the ground. Give both feet a flex. And if your left leg is lengthening, then rotate your inner thigh down so much that your toes will turn a little bit more upward. And now just slightly take your leg across your body, keeping your hip pinned down onto the ground. So you're just giving your IT band a little stretch, that pocket muscle, the TFL, a little bit of a stretch. Big deep breath. Reach through both heels. Inhale, come back into center. Knee draws in toward your chest. And then switch. Setting your right foot on the ground. Clasp your hands behind your left thigh. And then reach up through your left heel. And then from that place, if you want to, you can extend your right leg all the way out. But wrap your left hip away from you, your upper thigh away from you, so that you have that movement of your femur bone and your hip socket. And then notice your right leg and rotate your inner thigh down, turning your toes more upright. Take a big deep breath as you push hamstrings into hands. And then begin to take your leg just slightly across your body, not so that your hip will lift, but just so that you can get that stretch through the IT band, the TFL as well. Take a big deep breath. Inhale back into center and give your knee a squeeze. And now set both feet on the ground. And then you're gonna find whatever prop you would like to set underneath your knees here. So if you want, you can grab a pillow or a bolster. You could always set a couple blocks under there. I find those to be maybe a little bit hard sometimes though. But let your legs come down to rest and take your arms open to a cactus or a T here. And from this place, take a big deep breath into your back body. And add a little shaking of your head no. And nodding your head yes. And then start to set yourself up in the most comfortable shavasana that you can. So feel free to add a blanket over you or switch your bolster to another place underneath you. Take the time to find your resting pose and take some deep breaths. Begin to take a deeper breath. Gently and slowly start to move through fingers and through toes. And now as you're ready to bend your knees and roll over to your side. And then slowly push yourself back up to your seat. And connect hands together at heart center. And as you take a deep, full breath in and out of your nose, tune back into whatever's present. Have a very peaceful, beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.